decided to put it all on one bet, one horse in one horse race. If it didn't win, it had literally become a matter of life and death.
That is the mass legalization and normalization of online sports gambling.
As more gamblers now are seeking help for addiction.
Yesterday, I lost $500. The day before that, I lost $1,000. The day before that, $2,000 to $3,000 I lost.
I literally got my pay, lost it in Betfred, come back up to the work computer, took a Wonga loan and lost that in the same 45-50 minute period.
Yes, sir. All right. So what we're doing is this is kind of like a head-to-head betting challenge here on CSGO Lotto. So
basically what's breaking news now is that myself and a few other people, including Tom or Pro Syndicate, own CSGO Lotto.
Online gambling is a bigger problem than you think. And it is way worse than it seems. Chapter 1. Marketing. If you've been on the internet at all, you've probably seen some of these. These are ads promoting gambling. They're everywhere. Online casinos have strict advertising guidelines for television, billboards, and posters. But things are a lot more relaxed through paid internet sponsorships. The internet is an open field. It feels like nowadays all your favorite streamers and influencers are sponsored. No, really. It seems like everybody is sponsored. Streamers like Kaisina even have the Stake logo stapled to the bottom of their screens. I'm about to show you one of the craziest clips to ever hit the internet. I'm gonna show you a clip of Kaisina gambling on stream.
Guys know, chat, as you guys know, sponsored by Underdog, okay? This is sponsored by Underdog, perfect day to bet. Chat, perfect day to put a pick in.
So what? Nowadays we could just pay random internet celebrities to promote gambling to anybody watching their stream? There's no age requirements, there's no process that ensures you're 18 or 21 or whatever the legal age is in your country. You can just go online right now and watch a live stream of somebody gambling. Even find gambling ads in random internet posts on Instagram and Twitter. Let's take a step back from America for a second and look at a European country like the one I live in, Ireland. In a report published by the Irish Examiner, it found 90% of all gambling transactions took place on an online casino. In Ireland in 2025, there was a 19% increase in gambling among the 18 to 25 year bracket. According to Sarah Hart, a journalist, technology has supercharged the gambling problem. You no longer have to enter a CD bookies. You can gamble 24/7 and discreetly do so on your dopamine delivering phone with no visible sign. Maybe you're of the mindset that thinks human vices should be legal, but there's an issue around targeting minors who are not fully capable of making decisions. As the Tabor Addiction Group said, young people are particularly vulnerable, with gambling addiction affecting them at 2 to 3 times the rate of adults. To put it plainly, the advertising works. Within the past year, 60% of US adults have gambled. The estimated societal cost of problem gambling is $14 billion per year. And the profits? Even more than that. In 2024, the global online gambling market was valued at an estimated $78.66 billion in revenue. They bank on getting you addicted to their website. Chapter 2. The psychology of addiction. Dopamine is a crucial neurotransmitter and hormone that acts as a chemical messenger in the brain, vital for pleasure, motivation, movement, focus, and learning. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical because it's released during rewarding experiences. Dopamine influences mood, attention, memory, coordination, and imbalances of dopamine are linked to conditions like Parkinson's, ADHD, and addiction. Especially addiction. Do you know which part of the gambling process produces the most dopamine? It's not winning, and it's certainly not losing. The part of the process that produces the most dopamine is the anticipation. It's on your screen right now. In roulette, it's the ball rolling around before it lands on black, before it lands on red, before it lands on anything. That's where you're producing the most dopamine, before it lands. Dopamine addiction occurs because gambling, especially gambling on games with inherently uncertain outcomes like slots or roulette, triggers massive dopamine surges in the brain's reward system. Let me give you an example. In a football match where there's 2 minutes left and the teams are neck and neck, dopamine swirls in your brain. Will you win or will you lose? It's so close, you can almost taste it. And as I already said, this moment right here, this is the moment where your dopamine peaks. You get addicted to this moment. You don't get addicted to the win, you get addicted to the anticipation of winning. As I said, the intermittent and uncertain nature of wins, even near misses, causes powerful, unpredictable dopamine spikes. This, to put it plainly, this makes the brain happy. The brain tries to get this feeling again, so you gamble again. And then again. And then again. But this means you gain a tolerance. Over time, your brain adapts, needing more gambling to achieve the same dopamine rush, leading to increased betting. Betting more often, more money, more games, and more losses. But more importantly, more dopamine. The brain links the dopamine rush to the act of gambling. This creates a powerful urge in your mind and causes you to believe nonsense, any justification to gamble again. For example, you may feel the need to chase a loss to win back money. I lost 50 on this bet, but I can win it back. So I'll bet again. This line of thought causes you to gamble again and get another dopamine hit, even if you don't win back the money. Electronic gambling machines, like slots, are designed to create near misses, which can trigger even stronger dopamine responses than actually winning, increasing the urge to play more. I almost won, I'm so close, I need to bet again. Chapter 3. Personal experience. Let's talk about something a little bit more personal to me. The entire reason I'm doing this video, the entire reason I made a YouTube channel was because I've seen gambling addiction in my everyday life and I wanted to make a video about it. Of the 8 people I've worked with, I've seen 4 just casually gambling on their phones in the canteen on our lunch break. One day I walked into the canteen and the only people there were the 4 of them, and they all had their heads down, they weren't talking to each other, they weren't paying any heed to anything. All 4 of them were gambling on slot machines on their phones. It was dystopian, to say the very least. I couldn't believe it. But that's just kind of become par for the course for them. On their lunch breaks, they usually just gamble whatever money they have in their bank accounts. And then, wouldn't you know it, a few days before pay, they're complaining they have no money. Then, a few months ago, I was on a flight home from Spain. I was sat next to probably the worst gambling addict I've ever seen. He was on roulette on his phone, up to the very last second. As we were ready for departure, a flight attendant had to ask him to turn on airplane mode as we were leaving the gate. He finished the round of roulette he was playing and begrudgingly put his phone away. But as soon as we landed, he was on his phone again. He was checking his horse race to see if his bet came through. But we weren't exactly landed at the gate yet. I mean, we had just landed. I mean, we were still on the runway, burning rubber, bouncing around and holding on to chairs to keep ourselves from bouncing around. But there he was, one hand on the chair in front of him, the other hand on his phone checking his horse race. The most recent time I've witnessed addiction was only about 2 weeks ago. I was in London on holidays for Christmas, and I glanced at somebody who was cycling next to me as I was walking through the city. He was on a slot machine website, on his bicycle. He was gambling on 1 PM on a Thursday, on his phone, cycling through the city streets. There were no hands on handlebars. He wasn't looking around, checking his blind spots, checking around for cars. He wasn't doing any of that. He was looking at his phone, staring intently at his slot machines, because he couldn't look away. He was completely addicted to it. To put it simply, online gambling has become a scourge, getting young people addicted to games they never truly win. People bet all their money away till they have nothing left. It's so easy, convenient, so dangerous. Online gambling has to be stopped, or at the very least, more regulated than it is today. I'm Kat with a video essay, and I really thank you for watching, and I really do hope you subscribe, and I hope you join me in my next video essay.